the long-awaited bunny style got cancelled. So, today was supposed to be the big day. The update everyone has been waiting for, the one that brings Bunny Iglesias into Blue Lock Rivals. We were ready for it, hyped for it, and honestly a lot of us were counting down the hours. But then, out of nowhere, the update got delayed. And not just by an hour or two like we've sometimes seen before. This time, it was delayed for a full 24 hours. That's right, a whole day. And as far as I can remember, this is the first time in Rivals history that we've had a delay this long. But before we continue, just a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel. We are growing fast, and by the end of 2025, I want to hit 50,000 subscribers, and with your help, I know I can get it. So thank you in advance. Let's continue. So Miro, the owner, posted a message about it in the official Blue Lock Rivals Discord. He wrote, "We're going to be delaying a full 24 hours to ensure that the style and update are stable. Due to this, we'll be throwing an extra 15 lucky spins on top of what we were planning to give away. Update will be at the usual time, but instead of today, it will be tomorrow." So that's the explanation. They need more time to make sure the style and the update are stable. And I get it. Stability is important. Nobody wants to download an update only to crash, get hit with major bugs, or lose progress. Just remember when we got the update with Loki, the first Master Style. I'm not gonna lie, the Loki update was one of the worst updates we've ever seen in our game, so yeah. But at the same time, it's still disappointing. When the devs build hype for a specific day, players plan around that. They expect to log in, roll for the new style, and test things out immediately. To be told at the very last minute that we have to wait a whole extra day feels bad. Especially when this is the first time it's happened at this scale. Usually if there were delays in the past, they were small. Maybe an hour, maybe two. And honestly, most people didn't even mind those because you could just keep playing, and by the time you looked again, the update was live. But a full day? That's something new. It sets a different tone. It shows that whatever issues they found with the update, they weren't small enough to fix in a short amount of time. They needed an entire day to sort it out. And yeah, that makes me think, what exactly was so unstable that they had to push everything back? Was it Bunny's style itself? Maybe something in his animations, chemistry, or awakening was breaking the build? Or was it something in the back end, like the servers or the lucky spin system? We don't know. All we know is that something wasn't right, and they didn't want to risk it. Now, to be fair to the devs, they did at least try to soften the blow. Adding 15 extra lucky spins as compensation is a nice gesture. I mean, I'm just going to ask from you guys, is waiting the whole day for 15 lucky spins is enough? But still, it doesn't erase the frustration, but it shows they're aware that players are disappointed. They didn't have to do that. They could have just said, wait another day, and left it at that. So the fact they're giving something extra is at least a small positive. It's not huge, but it's better than nothing. But here's where I stand. While I understand the reason and I appreciate the spins, I can't ignore the fact that this delay hurts the hype. For a lot of people, today was supposed to be Bunny Day. People had planned content around it. People had saved their spins, saved their money, and were ready to go. And now they're left hanging. Sure, it's only one day. It's not the end of the world, but hype is fragile. When you build it up for weeks and then delay at the last second, even for a good reason, it always stings. At the same time, though, I'd rather have a stable update tomorrow than a broken one today. Again, just remember Loki update. If they had pushed it out and it was unplayable, that would have been worse. Players would be angry not just about the delay, but about wasted spins, wasted time, and a style that doesn't work. So if stability is the issue, delaying is the right call. It's just that the timing and the size of this delay make it feel heavier than usual. And let's also think about what this means for the future. If this really is the first full-day delay we've seen, maybe it's a sign that the devs are taking stability more seriously now. Maybe before, they would have just patched on the fly, but this time they decided not to risk it. That could actually be a good thing long-term, because it means they're learning to prioritize player experience. If the update launches tomorrow without bugs and everything works smoothly, then this delay will be worth it. People will forget the one-day wait, but they won't forget if Bunny's style had been broken on release. Another thing to consider is that Bunny isn't just any style. He's one of the most controversial additions we've ever had. People have been arguing about whether he deserves a style, whether he has enough feats, whether he's canon enough. All of that debate means expectations are sky high. If Bunny launched today and something went wrong, the backlash would have been brutal. By delaying, the devs might have actually saved themselves from that disaster. So even though it's frustrating right now, it's probably the safer move. And the but, just hear me out. What if this delay isn't only about stability? What if the devs are actually testing a shift in their update schedule? Usually we're used to Saturday being update day. That's been the tradition for a long time, and players have built their expectations around it. But with Bunny's delay, the update is now landing on Sunday instead. Maybe this is intentional. Maybe they want to see how the player base reacts to updates dropping on Sundays. It could be a trial run for a new rhythm, especially since weekends are peak times for player activity. Shifting updates by one day could make sense if they think it helps server stability or overall engagement. We also can't ignore the timing here. Livigno is coming next week. He's already announced as Master Rarity, and his release is just around the corner. That means two massive styles are dropping back-to-back, only 1 week apart. That alone is huge because Master Rarity styles are not easy to pull. The amount of resources players will need is insane. Spins, money, yeah, everything is going to get drained quickly. Only a small percentage of the player base will actually be able to secure both Bunny and Livigno. And maybe that's part of the reason why Bunny's update got pushed by a day. Think about it. The devs are under huge pressure right now. They're not just balancing one new style, they're balancing two. And even though the releases are a week apart, the fact that both were announced together puts extra spotlight on them. The community is watching closely. Everyone remembers what happened with Loki. The hype was massive, but the launch came, I will just say, not good. The devs can't afford to let that happen again. If Bunny launched broken today, and then Livigno followed next week, the backlash would have been doubled. By delaying Bunny even by 1 day, they're buying themselves more time to make sure that doesn't happen. It also shows how much pressure the devs are probably under right now. Imagine trying to polish two Master Rarity styles at almost the same time, knowing that both are controversial and heavily anticipated. Every bug, every animation error, every balance problem is going to be magnified. Players will be comparing Bunny and Livigno non-stop. If one feels unfinished or weaker than the other, people will complain. If both feel broken or unbalanced, people will explode. That's why I think the team is literally using every second they have to test and retest. And honestly, it makes sense. These aren't just any styles, they're Master Rarity. That's supposed to mean top-tier quality, something that feels above and beyond the rest. If Bunny or Livigno launch in a state that feels rushed, it damages the whole meaning of that rarity. The devs probably know that, and they're putting in extra hours to avoid it. So when Miro says they're delaying to make sure the update is stable, I believe that. But I also think it's tied to a bigger picture. It's about pacing these releases correctly, making sure the hype is delivered properly, and preventing a repeat of mistakes like we saw with Loki. So yeah, while it's frustrating to wait, this delay could be more strategic than it looks on the surface. It could be a test of Sunday updates. It could be about managing two Master Rarity drops back to back. It could even be about making sure Bunny and Livigno set a new standard for quality. Whatever the reason, it's clear the devs are under massive pressure right now, and they're doing everything they can to get it right. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, just so you will know. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this update breakdown, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel grow.